What's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, Oak Las Vegas Raider Network, and Wasted Talent. It is the 4th of July, and I wanted to do something special today, break it all down. We're going to be talking about Josh Jacobs. We're going to be looking at some Raiders training camp outlook, and then any type of questions, comments, super chats like we always do. We're going to feature y'all here live. Now, again, I'm Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports. We usually go live on Tuesday, but guess what? It is a national holiday. I got some drinks ready to be flowing. So, guys, without further ado, please introduce yourselves.
Yes, sir, man. Your boy Graphk Raider, man. Oak Las Vegas Raiders Network. You already know what time it is. I don't care what channel you on. Subscribe to all three people on the screen. My brother Wasted Talent down here, man, doing this thing. What's up, bro?
Well, as he just said, I am Wasted Talent, Raider Nation Unlimited, and I'm ready to rock and roll with two of the GOATs in this thing, man. Let's go.
Let's get it going. So I figured one of the very first things that I wanted to talk about, and once we get super chats flowing in here, if you guys want to have some drinks, I got some stuff ready to go. I know Graphk has got some. Wasted was about to go make coffee right before we hopped on this thing. But the Raiders Report, the way that I like to do it on YouTube, is really use you guys. So if you have comments, super chats, we will answer them. Until we get one of those, though, my question to both of you is, it's going to be the one that we continue to talk about. Josh Jacobs, is he going to get the extension? Is he going to get franchise tagged? Or do you think there's a little bit of a holdout situation? And if y'all want to interact with us down in the comments, please do so.
I've said this on my show, and my bad, brother. I'm going to go first real quick. Real fast. We got to say this real fast. Happy birthday to Al Davis, the GOAT. Real quick.
Happy birthday to the GOAT.
You have to do that, man. There's Al Day. Rest in paradise to the GOAT. Mitch, what do you think about this? This is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that there's not even a contract. There's no contract talk between the Raiders and Jacobs. There's no deal that was even presented to Jacobs. It's play on the tag or don't. Simple and plain. And I think that's why Josh is lashing out on social media at this point. I believe that he's frustrated. He feels like he earned a contract last year. Definitely did.
Sure.
But at this point, he's feeling like, why are you not offering me anything outside of the franchise tag? And I think if he does play on it, he's going to play on it again next year. I think they're gonna do this back-to-back years if he continues the success that he had like he did last year. But I think at some point he's gonna cave in. He's gonna play on the franchise tag. I don't think there's gonna be an extension. Early on, I thought there may be, but the more it closer gets to training camp, I think that they want him to play on a franchise tag or don't play at all. I mean, I seen the nation freaking out yesterday, right, about the Raiders posting the running back room.
I don't know what they expect. You know what I mean? That's one of those things. I saw the same thing. And, yeah, you're right. Technically, he's not under contract. But, I mean, from what I understand, he wants to be a part of this organization. I don't blame him for wanting to get his money. But then you also got to look at past running backs that have had over 300 touches. It is not kind for history, and that's kind of what's hurting Jacobs. It's not they don't like you. It's if you're going to run a business and you got to look at, all the metrics and everything's pointing at him, do not extend this guy. Yeah. That's where you get into a little bit of a situation. Shout out to Vicky Orr. Much love to you. Appreciate the super sticker. Wasted. What's your opinion on the whole Josh Jacobs situation? And then we'll go to Wild One.
I mean, I think it's egregious that this organization hasn't even sat down to discuss a contract on him. Now, if that's what's really happening, we don't really know. What I do know is that, this is a man who led the league in rushing. This is a man who has been super durable for the Raiders. And this is an offense that is predicated on the run first. Jimmy Garoppolo has never thrown the football 500 times in a season. Yeah. And I don't expect him to now. And I don't expect him to get any healthier as he gets older. And this is a team that is predicated on running the football. And I don't necessarily see his replacement on his roster right now. Like, the guy's 25 years old. Now, if Josh Jacobs was 28, 29, I understand it. Yeah. But the man is 25 years old. He is entering the prime of his career. Why would you not want to get an all-pro that's 25 years old that you drafted under contract? At least negotiate to see if it's possible to have him under contract for the foreseeable future. Well, it doesn't make any sense to me.
The thing is, Wasted, they didn't draft him. And I think that's another reason that plays into this. They went and got Zeus pretty early. I mean, we had a third and fourth, right? That's where our first two draft picks last season. We went and got a guard of the future with Parham, and we went and got Zeus really early. It looked as though they were trying to move on from him. You know what I mean? They went and got Britton Brown. They went and got Sincere McCormick as the UDFA. We've talked about this a million times. They went and did everything that they could in order to look like they were moving on from him, putting them out there in the Hall of Fame game. You went and got 5 running backs last year. You got 3 in the draft. You went and got Amir Abdullah and Brandon Bolden. that's telling. You know what I mean? And at this point, I don't know why JJ would expect for them to give him an extension. They already turned down his 5th year deal. I mean, 5th year. You know, I
don't know why he wouldn't, because at the end of the day, if these guys are football aficionados, or if they're professionals, it doesn't matter whether they drafted him or not. Is it about the effect, or is it about what actually happened? What actually happened is this guy went out there and showed a superior effort in spite of the way that they treated this guy.
Definitely.
And we got a guy who is making less than Hunter Renfrow. It does not make any sense to not sign a young stud superstar player when you have a bad football team. Good teams don't become good by letting good football players walk out of the front office, man.
And they signed every other superstar. They signed every other superstar but Josh Jacobs. Every one of them, even the ones that are gone.
And let's look at that. You signed Darren Waller. He's gone, which is fine, right? They left the trap door for that deal. Hunter Renfrow, if they could have gotten rid of him, I believe they possibly would have, right? They got rid of Derek Carr, who they gave another contract to. The one contract that they didn't do is the one who actually showed up and played. So to me, that leaves their judgment in question. It does not make now listen, they signed Max Crosby, and that was a smart thing to do. You got to do that. He's an edge rusher. Yes. But they went out and got Devontae Adams. That's a no-brainer. To me, this is another no-brainer. The thing is, emotion is the enemy of reason. Is this an emotional choice? Because I don't see any reason why you would not go and sign a running back to a team-friendly deal that led the league in rushing, who is 25 years old. It does not make any sense to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, here, let's go to this one from Wild One. Mitch, time to discuss the Week 8 scenario on Jacobs. If he took that option, how's the money impacted? So Wild Ones, shout out to Mount Raidermore. I do my own thing over on the Raiders Report. That's one of my big spenders over there. So shout out to Wild One. And he asked me this. Essentially, if Jacobs ends up holding out, he can hold out until Week 8. Basically, the way that the whole holdout situation works is you can sign that franchise tag. If you decide not to sign the tag, you can't show up. But you do got to sign the tag in order to play. But just because he does that and he ends up holding out and not playing, the way that the franchise tag works is you don't make the money. So whatever the mathematical is of $10.1 million, you divide that into 17 games, take away 8 games of that, that's what he would end up making then. He does not make any money until he is actually on the field, which does not make any sense for a running back. You saw what happened with Le'Veon Bell, and I agree with a lot of the points that, Wasted has made. He's 25 years old, but if you are a business owner, if you're running a football team, if you go back and you look at history for running backs that have had over 300 touches in a season, the following year, now this is going back the last 20 running backs since 2011, they averaged 12 and a half games per. So, Jacobs is like, I want y'all to pay me based on what I've done my first 4 years, which he absolutely deserves that. But if you're the Raiders, if you're McDaniels, if you're Ziegler, you're like, well, I'm not going to pay you for your first 4 years. I'm paying you for your next 3 to 4 years. And history shows that paying that running back, it's murky water. There's no doubt about it. If they decide to do it, I think they structure the contracts very similar. But then I've also said, if I'm Jacobs, I look at $344 million is what they invested in Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow last off season. And if I'm like Josh, I'm like, you guys can't give me $30 million. You can't give me $40 million. So it's definitely a little bit of murky water, but I hear you both out. I want to go to Tano Raider. Also, Tano, you got to message me on IG, or you got to message Chugs. He's off today. I got to get you your signed football. I don't have any of your addresses or anything. Are the Raiders waiting to see about Renfrow or other trades to see what money they have for Jacobs' extension? So what is your take on this one? You guys can feel free to chime in.
I don't think so at all. I don't think they're waiting for anything. I think at this point, maybe they try to, throw Renfrow out there, his name out there, and see what they can get back. But at this point, he's on the roster. I don't think it affects Josh Jacobs at all. I just think that personally, this regime does not want to pay one running back. That it's simple and plain. They've done the running back by committee thing in New England for years, and I think that's what they're doing. It's either take the 10.8, 10 point somewhere around there, take that or 10, take that or don't play. So
10.1.
I don't think Renfrow, his contract affects Josh Jacobs at all. I think if we moved on from that contract and we saved that money, we put that to the defensive side of the ball. So I don't think it affects Josh Jacobs at all. What you think, Wesley?
I don't, because if it did, that means that they are not good at managing their cap. they've already allotted the money to Josh Jacobs to be franchised, right? And if they were to do an actual deal, they can make the deal work so where it would be less of a cap hit. You know, they don't have to beg from Peter to pay Paul. I just think that they're taking a bad approach to this. And I think the optics to the Josh Jacobs situation goes far beyond just Josh Jacobs. So if I'm a Raider player, right?
Yeah.
What is my incentive to come out and take one for the team? If I lead the league in any statistical category, right? What's the option for me?
But wasted. Everybody else got their extension, though, brother. Like this, the running back position is expendable at this point. And we talked about this a million times. We hate it. These backs deserve better, but Max got paid.
You know, I look at it as like, what if like we're running the business right now, right? Like, let's say there's YouTube channels, but what if you ran the #1 Raiders newspaper in the entire world? Unfortunately, you might have the greatest Raiders newspaper in the entire world, but people don't go to the newspaper anywhere. I mean, maybe people your age do, but I know for me personally, I don't. So you might be able to be that newspaper. You might be able to be that running back. It's just times are different. And I do think that the NFL needs to figure out where running back contracts go, because I do think it wouldn't surprise me if the NFL very shortly goes where it's like running backs after year 2 can get that big time deal. And they don't have to wait for the 4th year. They don't have to wait for the 5th year, because what we're going to start seeing is great athletes. They're going to be like, why the hell would I play running back? I wouldn't. If I was Josh Jacobs, I would have said, where can you put me? Put me at defensive end. I don't know where he's going to play, but he's going to make a lot more money.
Yeah.
I think that's a straw man argument by both of you, and I'm disappointed in both of you. You know, you two young whippersnappers. Now, when you talk about Josh Jacobs in context of the Raiders singularly, that is what we are talking about. This is a team that is a run-first offense, and the running back, saying that the running back is an outdated concept. That's an outdated concept for other teams that have established quarterbacks that are superstars, or quarterbacks who can get those yards with their legs. Rushing is an integral part of the National Football League. Now, if you're the Baltimore Ravens, you got Lamar Jackson, or if you're the Buffalo Bills and you got Josh Allen, then you might want to take that kind of caveat. But when you got Jimmy Garoppolo as your quarterback, not Patrick Mahomes, not Joe Burrow, Jimmy Garoppolo, you need a running back.
This is it. The workhorse, the years of the workhorse are done. Not that the running back position is expendable. Work by committee. Paying one guy makes no sense when you can have 4 or 5 guys that can get it done.
So this is the thing. How do you know these 4 or 5 guys can get it done? How do you know?
We won't know unless you give them a chance.
But see, the problem with that is when you have a superstar on your roster, why would you eject the superstar from your roster, right, and have the land of misfit toys in your backfield? It does not make sense.
Don't eject them. You don't eject them.
Especially
$10.9 million, bro. That's not ejecting it. Look, you can eject me all day for $10.9 million.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. When you have a team where you have Tom Brady under quarterback, you can have running back by committee, because you know that all of the deficiencies that are left by that particular bad running back is going to be an issue. Now, see, it's not just about rushing the football. It's about blocking. How do we know one of these young boys can block? And I think a lot of the reason why they didn't get a lot of touches last year is because of that fact. And we have one of the most brittle quarterbacks in the history of creation under center. And if this regime wants to get a 3rd year, they better figure it out now. Because, look, if you look at some of the personnel moves that have been made, I don't know. And listen, I've been a staunch Josh McDaniels supporter. I've been one of the first guys. When everybody wanted Harbaugh, I wanted McDaniels. From the beginning, I wanted Josh McDaniels. But this is the problem. You can't play Bill Belichick without the rings. You don't have the rings. You don't have the pull. You don't have the quarterback. You've done nothing to warrant that kind of currency with the players in his locker room. He has to build currency. He has to pay the guys who played well for him last year and not guys who didn't. And I'm sorry, man. You got to pay this guy.
You don't got to be so. I think it's also the idea of he had 393 touches, he had over 2,000 yards, and you went 6-11. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if Jacobs comes out this season and does that again, like, we'll all sit up here like, oh yeah, he earned his money again. But at the end, it didn't result in wins and losses. If I'm this organization that's going to preach that it's not just the player, it's the team aspect, and if right now you playing on the franchise tag does help out the team, potentially in the long term, I gotta continue to teach that. Does Jacobs deserve his money? Yes. I don't think anybody disputes that. And that's going to be the interesting thing. But I do want to head on over here to Wild One. I want to keep the super chats flowing. If JJ holds out, how many weeks before they begin shopping him to get something of value for him to move forward? If there's, I guess if that's their goal. If Jacobs holds out, to me, I think that they would almost be willing to take just about anything for him. Maybe they dangle him at the NFL trade deadline on November 1st. But I do not see a scenario where Jacobs asks to be traded it would have to be at the fallout of Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Like, they would have to insult somebody's wife. I mean, that's probably what would have to happen.
He wants to be a Raider, and I've said this before, even on your show before, Mitch. He told me at the Pro Bowl, he wants to be a Raider. That's his city. That's his team. That's what Josh Jacobs said. But $11 million pretty much, man. It's pretty much $11 million. Like, that's a good amount of money to be excited to go play some football. I understand the concept of wanting more guaranteed money and be able to have more money afforded to you down the line. But, man, $11 million. If you don't want to come in and play for that, hey, man, look, get whatever you can for him.
Okay,
get what you can.
You know what's funny about that? So you're willing to pay the third best wide receiver possibly on your roster more money this year than you're willing to pay the best running back damn near in professional.
I'm
not, but they are.
So all right, so that's a stupid logic. And
I don't disagree.
Everybody keeps talking. Everybody wants to play armchair GM. Everybody wants to say, well, no. With the Raiders, it is a different situation. Do you think that the 49ers look at Christian McCaffrey's contract as a bad contract? No, they know that they need Christian McCaffrey based off of the way their offense is structured and based on who they have under center. Yep. Our situation is totally different. Like, if we located the quarterback, I would agree with you. We didn't locate the quarterback yet. And then there's another caveat about this. The reason why I said initially that I wanted Josh McDaniels was a few reasons, right? Jim Harbaugh is a guy who was a lot like John Gruden to me. He was going to want to come in. He wasn't going to leave the University of Michigan by being total like Lord, Master, and Ruler, because that's pretty much what you are when you're a superstar college football coach.
Definitely.
He wasn't going to leave the University of Michigan to come to acquiesce to a general manager, right? So what I wanted somebody who was a superior offensive mind, who was going to come in and have a traditional structure, having coach, GM, president, owner. That's what I wanted. I didn't want one guy that was going to come here that has been successful somewhere else who was going to want all of the power like John Gruden, right?
Yeah.
And initially, too, I wanted a guy who has been a head coach before, because historically in the National Football League, coaches who have had another go-round have done better. You know what I'm saying? They win the next time. And I figured to myself, if anybody is going to learn from one of the greatest coaches of all time, the guy who's been with him the longest, it stands to reason that he's going to be successful once he gets another chance. He's young enough. Hopefully he's made those adjustments in his personality. So let's bring him on in. Now, what this is showing me is that he has a blindness to his situation. He believes more in his scheme than the players on the roster. And if he looks at his scheme, Josh Jacobs broke more tackles at first contact than anybody in the league last year.
So that scheme had nothing to do with it, though? The scheme had nothing to do with it?
No, the scheme, I'm not saying the scheme had nothing to do with it. I think most of the first downs in a lot of the games we won were because Josh Jacobs were breaking tackles. No,
definitely was. But we have to understand that scheme definitely helped Josh. He had a career year under Josh McDaniels. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of that came from him being pissed off and fighting for that new contract on the last year of his deal. But that scheme definitely does help running backs a lot, Wade. So we can't run away from that. We can't shy away from
it. The scheme helped the running backs because we had a guy playing quarterback last year who didn't play well. So they took the air out of the football in the second half a lot of the times. So that's one of the reasons why Josh Jacobs ran.
But you got to give a lot of credit to that offensive line, though.
Definitely.
I mean, that offensive line, it literally pisses me off when I see people on social media. They're like, this Raiders offensive line, this and that. I'm like, I would say when you really look at everything that happened last year, Jacobs was amazing. Nobody like him and Devontae, Crosby, those are your main guys. After those three, it's offensive line to me, and I don't even know if it's particularly close. Let's go to another Mount Raidermore legend here, John frickin' Borelli. How many games does porn star Jimmy play? I have set the over-under at 12.5. I know it's a very difficult conversation to have because you can't really predict the future. How many games is he going to play? And if he does end up going down, is it the Brian Hoyer or Aiden O'Connell show?
It's the Aiden O'Connell show, a period, point blank. And to be honest with you, I have to go with the under of what you said because this is who Jimmy G is. The durability issues have been there for a long time. I know that Shanahan gets his quarterbacks killed up there in Santa Clara, and maybe it's going to change a little bit. I think we will protect him a lot better, but I have to go with the under 12 because I have to see it to believe it. But at the end of the day, Aiden O'Connell show for sure. They went and got this guy early when that run of quarterback started going back to back. When they had back to back QBs going, the Rams and who else went? It was the Rams and I forgot somebody that went back to back. They knew they had to go get their guy, and they went and got him. And at the end of the day, it's definitely the young Purdue legend Aiden O'Connell. So, but I got to go under. I don't trust Jimmy G at this point. Do I think he's gonna be ready for the regular season? Yes, definitely do. But I'm taking it a day at a time. You know, I mean, at that point, I don't know. What you got, Wasted?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I got the under as well because, Garoppolo has an injury, man, that we don't even know if he's even totally healed from. The Raiders have a trap during his contract to where this guy might not even suit up for us, right? He's gotten another year older, and then now if we're operating under the premise that Josh Jacobs is going to be there week 1, and he doesn't have the option to hand it off to a guy who's going to get positive yards damn every time he touched the ball. Now you got a problem. If he has to drop back and throw the football more than he's ever done it, he will be hurt. So I got to go under 12 games.
Okay. All right. If the season is a complete failure, this one's from Adrian. What's up, brother? Happy 4th of July to everyone.
Yeah.
Do you see the Raiders going into fire sale mode and start trading top players for a better draft next year? So I do not think that they will fire McDaniels or Ziegler this year. I literally don't think anything. Like, they would have to start 0-10 in order for something like that to happen. 2 wins entering the bye, then sure, Davis starts thinking about it if they're not selling tickets. But, as much as I don't like McDaniels, I still think that they're going to be a better football team than being that bad. However, if they're near the NFL trade deadline, then yes, it would not surprise me whatsoever if they just start shipping off guys left and right to try to get some of that extra draft capital in 2024.
I don't think it would be Josh McDaniels and Zeke wanting to do it. I think it's the players. I think Devontae's going to say, get me out of here. Max is a Raider. He's going to be there. I don't see Max going anywhere. But some of these players are going to be like, you know what? Look, I didn't sign up for this shit, especially an 0-10. Like, I mean, that's a terrible, you know what I mean? But, at some point you have to look at it. Devontae, he's getting up there in age, still the best wide receiver to me in the league. You want to keep the best play. You want to keep your best players. But at some point you do have to start thinking about getting younger. And yeah, man, if we start off bad, I think that these players are going to say, look, get me out of here. Get me out of here. And at that point, then we have to revisit that and say start gauging interest from these other teams. But I don't think that they just say, well, we got to get rid of Devontae. We're just going to go in a rebuild mode. I think it's because Devontae asks to get me out of here. These other players, Chandler Jones, like, I didn't sign up for this shit. Let me spend my latter year somewhere else in a winning franchise. These guys are going to ask to get out of there. I don't think that it's going to be on them because you never want to get rid of your cornerstone players. You know what I mean? You truly don't. But I think if you start off really bad like that, yeah, definitely, man.
So if we're operating under the guys that these guys are so cap conscious, right? We're talking about Josh Jacobs not being here and all of that. There's no way they trade Devontae Adams next year. The cap hit is just $2 grand.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right? It's crazy, right? So they'd have to get like 2 first-round picks for him for them.
31 million dead cap hit.
Yeah. So that's a non-starter at that point, right? So the guys that will go, guys like Chandler Jones, right? Now Chandler Jones, that won't hurt you too bad.
No,
get rid of him, right? So it's not going to be anybody of consequence. The thing that will get Josh Jacobs out of here is revenue. See, Mark Davis is in a precarious situation, man. If you look at, this is a new sports market that we were the ones who kind of championed. The Golden Knights came here, won a championship. His other team, the Las Vegas Aces, won a championship. This is a transient entertainment town. This isn't the kind of town where you can have a bad, shitty football team that people are going to sit there and watch. It just ain't going to happen, especially when we got the highest ticket prices damn near in the National Football League. No one is going to. So what's going to wind up happening is this is going to be a flyover town for visiting teams. And that is an embarrassment, an abject failure to this Raider organization.
Yeah.
The revenue is going to dictate how Mark Davis moves with this because you have to do something. And I've noticed the way Mark Davis has moved the whole time with the Raiders. He does things that are best for the football team at probably 85% of the time. But that other 15% of the time, he is thinking about his pockets.
Yeah. Well, and wait, you can't sell anything in Vegas without star power. You like that's why another reason why I feel like Josh and them wouldn't just jump the gun and try to get rid of their star players. At the end of the day, you can't sell Vegas without that star power around you. Could you imagine people going to Vegas without Devontae, Max Crosby, and these guys? Like, how can you sell tickets? There's no one's going to go. No one's going. It's just not going to happen, especially Raider fans. Yeah, transit, opposing teams, but at that point,
So that means you've lost the town at that point.
Yeah, there you go.
See, because at this point, it's not really about the ticket sales, right? It's about the next generation of Raider fans. It's about kids that are under 12 years old who are growing up in this culture of a football team where there's never been a football team. They've never had professional sports. So you have a grand opportunity to make this market one of the top 10 sports markets in all of sports. And you can be at the forefront of that. You don't have to fight with like in New York. In New York, when the Giants are bad, you got to fight with the Jets, right? If the Jets are bad, you got to fight with the Giants. You got to fight with the Yankees, the Knicks, the Mets, the Rangers, the Devils. There's a lot of competition. The Raiders have almost no competition because the NHL doesn't move the needle the way the National Football League does, and neither does female basketball. They don't even have a baseball team yet. They have nothing to fight. So they can establish the next 50 years of this organization. And the National Football League is watching. Trust me, because they didn't just let this team go there for no reason. This is the last vestige of a big market in the continental United States left. The only other place they can go is where you go, Hawaii. That's not a big market. There's no other place where there's a big market where you don't have a team. So this has to work. Trust me. Right. The league will probably take the team away from them.
All right, let's go to Ruben here, and I'll keep this one short because I 100% agree with him where the 49ers didn't need Christian McCaffrey. The running backs already had great production, but I think one of the reasons why a back like McCaffrey did get the bag that he did is because he's a receiver, right? And I love Josh, but he's definitely a between the tackles type of guy. I saw another one flow in here, Graph. Let's keep rolling through the supers. Speaking of the other quarterback, if he balls out with the Saints and the Raiders stumble, does that put McDaniels on the hot seat? No. I literally don't think anything can change because, and even if Derek has success, there's nobody that can convince me otherwise that this divorce was 100% needed. Derek did not play well last season. McDaniels might have had his flaws as well. And if Carr goes out and balls out with the Saints, congratulations to him. Yeah. Keep it moving. But I'll tell you this, I could not be happier when I hear of all the whining and all the other stuff. I will always say that your football team takes on the personification of your leaders, and Derek was a great person, but I mean, let's just keep it 100 here.
You hit it on the head, man, because if he would have performed well last year, we got rid of him, and then he went to the Saints, then he would be on the hot seat. But he played very, very shitty last season, and there was a reason why we got rid of him. So no.
Not right, Ruben. To be honest with you, that trade, or not trade, but that divorce was from the top down. Mark Davis wanted to move on from him probably a year or two previous to this.
Got nothing to do with that.
I had a very high up Raiders player tell me, and again, I can't tell you the name of him, but straight up told me Derek was always one of the very last guys in the building and was always one of the very first guys to leave after the bye week. And I think it's interesting because you hear a lot of the bye week stuff where it's like the Waller whole situation and a lot of these players that were kind of like, oh, shit, I don't know how much more time I'm going to have here. It was a total either buy in, buy out. And a lot of the guys who you were hoping buy in did not buy in. And people can say what they want. I've said that before on my show, but the player that told me that, he wears a C on his chest. So I know a lot of y'all like him. Let's go to the Ruben again. JJ win versus the Seahawks. He had a great game. Walk-off touchdown, no touch offensive line, but it's a known as, I mean, that's still one of the greatest games ever. Let's go to Patrick. I mean, that walk-off win was huge. To the homies, Mitch already knows, shout out from South Carolina. If management was smart, I mean, I don't know if they are, but how many game differential if JJ signs or not? This is a great game. Or this is a great question. So how many wins? I'll ask you both, and Wasted, I want you to go first this time. If the Raiders have Josh Jacobs on their roster, how many games do they win? If they do not have Jacobs on their roster, how many games do they win?
I think the Raiders win between 9 and 10 games this year with Josh Jacobs. I really do. I think this schedule is very deceiving. They say we have like a really, really hard schedule, but I think the Raiders match up well with a lot of the teams that are on our docket this year. If we can play a ball control kind of offense. If we take the air out of the football and protect Jimmy, I think we can win between 9 and 10 games. If we don't, I think we win 4.
Yeah, you got to run the ball heavy against the teams like Buffalo. You don't want to go out there and have no shootout with a Josh Allen. You don't want to have a shootout with Patrick Mahomes twice a year. It's not going to work in your favor with Jimmy G as your quarterback. You know what I mean? I do believe we will get more wins with Josh Jacobs. Let's be honest, we're a better team with him. I know we were 6-11 last year. I get that, but he was not in question at all. At all. Josh did exactly what he was supposed to do, and then some. We're a better team with him. I still have a basement of 7 wins this year, and I have a ceiling of 11. I think with Josh, I think we can get to that 10, 11. I think without him, we're more along the lines of 7 to 8 wins.
Cool. All right, let's go to the next one. Rolling in here. Remember, y'all, this is live Raiders Report 4th of July special. We'll probably be live for another 30 minutes or so. If you haven't already, take a second, hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. That way, anytime Raiders news happens, I got you covered. I know Graph's got you covered. I know Wasted's got you covered. So wherever you're watching this, and if you want to see more videos like this, where we get some different collaborators together, yeah, I think that's what Raider Nation is all about. So if you haven't already, go subscribe to their channels. And if you're new to my show, please don't be shy. Hit that subscribe button.
We got a ton of people in here, man. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th of July.
I can't see what everybody has on their channel. I got 700 people in here. I know we're well over 1,000 right now, you guys. So salute to the nation for pulling up on a holiday, man. We love you guys so much.
All right, what up, Alec? Happy 4th. Haven't been able to tune in recently because of work, but I think the defense is going to have a great year this year, especially Max.
Yeah.
So I put out a video yesterday about my bold prediction on Crosby. He's going to break the Raiders' single-season record for sacks with 17. If y'all want to go down in the comments right now, put in your predictions for how many sacks you think Crosby's going to have. We'll give some shout-outs here in a little bit. Hug D's, what up? Happy 4th to Graph, Wasted, and Mitch. Hope your day is full of America and fun. Stay blessed. Brush off the scrubs. My question about is this. I got some buddies coming over. We're going to play some pool basketball. And if you guys want to let us know down in the comments, do so. Basketball game right now. It's just me against Graft against Wasted. Every man for himself. Who's coming in first? Who's coming in second? And who's finishing last?
Pause, and pause. And thirdly, I'm finishing first, period.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Listen, there are a lot of things that I can't do. Basketball is something that I can do very well.
I will flame you, bro.
Yo, you out of your mind.
Maybe a young Wasted. See, I don't know. Like a young Wasted, I'm gonna go stereotypical here. I'm gonna look at you in the court and be like, yeah, I'm gonna be in a little bit of trouble. But I'll tell you this right now, neither of y'all are out shooting me.
Hey.
I don't know about that, bro. And both you guys are midgets, man. You guys are both under 6 feet tall. You guys are tiny guys, man. You guys 5'9".
First of all, Paul. And secondly, what? Come on, midgets, man. Here we go. Let's get to the.
How tall are you?
Yo, I'm 6'1". I'm 6'1".
Wow. 5'10" to 6'1".
I'm just saying, I'm 6'1", and I can still jump and grab the rim. So you guys,
I can get rim.
Yo, you go up. It's getting swatted. I'm just letting you know, it's getting swatted.
Get out of here. We gotta figure something out to get all of us together, and we got a ball because I need this to happen.
No,
I mean, we'll play half court for Wasted, but
yeah, there you go. But blackout this year, one of those blackout. Whenever we can get you out there, we're definitely doing that. We're setting that up. Mm-hmm. Real quick, shout out to Patrick B, man. I think our defense will make a very big jump this year. We grabbed good, smart free agents, players, and drafted really good talent. I think this is one of our best drafts in recent years. Don't get me wrong. Got to give it a chance to translate. But I think on paper and getting all those captains from the previous collegiate teams, I think we're going to be phenomenal with this draft moving forward. And I agree with you. We went and got good depth on the defensive side of the ball. Went and got Jacoby Myers, a guy that could play in the slot, push outside. I think we did really, really good this offseason. Shout out to our dog, Patrick B, man. Shout out to Cyber as well on the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, my brother, as always. Cyber Fit. And we got Brandon Jasper. You want to shoot that right there, bitch? I know that's your guy.
Can't watch, but got my earbud in, so I always do live shows over on a spot called Locals for the best content, personal interaction, weekly pick'ems. Happy 4th of July to the entire nation out there. You know what? I figured I'm always about deals, and I know Brandon, he's a big-time deal maker. Now, I can't speak for Wasted because, AARP, he's got to do his own thing over there. However, I will speak for Graph and I. If we get a $100 super chat right now, I'm slamming down a beer. Graph's going to do a shot, and Wasted will probably, I don't know. What are you going to drink your coffee? You can do what you want.
No. He's going to talk about his Al Bundy days when he played basketball and he scored.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll go get a drink. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, let's go, baby.
I go get a drink, but I'm tired of you guys calling me. Oh, Graphk has a back that's 80 years old. His back is 80 years old, and Mitch,
it's because he's carrying you all the time.
Mitch, no, he wishes he could carry me. Let me tell you something, bitch. You, old scrub insides, drinking your life away.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I'm probably 20 years younger than both of y'all. I'm probably 20 years younger than both of y'all, Mitch.
Shout out to my brother.
That you can get rim too. Pause on that.
Shout out to my brother.
I can.
When a team has paid a running back and won a Super Bowl, paying running backs are a sign of a bad franchise. Cyber, I agree with you. I agree. Wasted is the only one that is ready to stab everybody over Josh Jacobs not getting paid $13, $14, $15 million a season. Salute to Tato. Did you see Adam Rank's win-loss prediction? He said we'd be 0-10. Yeah, I seen that. That's crazy, bro. Before winning a game. And didn't he say that the first game we won would be against the Miami Dolphins? Or the Chiefs? It was a really good team.
We'd be 0-10 and beat the Chiefs. Like it was the Dolphins, the Chiefs, and some other team in there. I'm like, I'll tell you this right now: if we go 0-10, we ain't beating the Chiefs.
Shout out to our brother Hammer, real quick. Content, real ones know. Real ones know.
Yo,
Shout out to our brother.
I just wish Adam Rank worked for ESPN because if he did, he'd be getting fired.
Cassidy,
Yeah.
no.
I'm just
no. Kaepernick, no. It's over.
Oh Jesus.
It's over. Done deal. Like
I saw Colin Kaepernick working on a taco truck somewhere in East LA, man. It's over.
deep down in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Shout out to JT, our brother, man. Shout out to this trio. Great diversity and style and real knowledge. Happy Skindependence Day. Stay away from the silver poles today, fellas. Shout out to our brother. Yo, shout out to DJ Wet. Happy 4th Nation. Raiders, salute to our brother, and shout out to our dog Intel, our brother with the $100 special. Oh, we got to turn up. What's up? What we doing?
How do you say that? Division?
No us Defiance Intel. We call him Intel. That's our brother
Intel. Bang!
No, shout out to Intel.
You want to bang?
That's
Now,
definitely.
wait, we got another one from Patrick B. Is
it a bang?
Oh, we're banging.
Oh, we're banging.
That's back-to-back bangs.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh, God. Real quick, let me get these soups in, and we're going to get to our $100 special. Shout out to Rue. What do you guys think? Shout out to our brother Intel once again. That is our brother. We love you so much, Intel. Thank you for supporting all 3 of our channels so much, man.
Fact.
Shout out to Rue. What do you guys think? What do you guys think this is the ceiling and floor of our defensive ranking? I love the potential, but most of our guys have to prove themselves. I have a ceiling of 16, 17. I'm going to be honest. I got to be real. I'm not going to be out here lying about, you know what? I'll go 15. I'll go middle of the pack defense. Basement, worst defense in the league.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do much worse than what we've been. The spin I've been doing with the whole defensive side is our offensive line last season was projected to be 29th, right? Yeah. And one of the coaches that I will always hype up, I love Carmen Brasillo. I mean, that's my guy right there. Rob Leonard is one of the best defensive line coaches in the NFL, and I think if he can get the defensive line to play and really make a big jump, our secondary and our linebackers, to me it comes down to how healthy is Tyree Wilson? Can Chandler Jones step it the hell up? Can Divine Diablo show that he's a hell of an athlete? Can Trevon Merrick show that he understands the system?
Yep.
And can Nate Hobbs go back to playing like the way he does as a rookie? If that stuff happens, it's not crazy to think we can be near a top 12 defense. I really believe in that because our depth, we might not have a lot of star talent right now, but in the National Football League, you look at all of the teams in terms of depth, we're right up there with depth. And last season, the Patrick Graham defense was playing a lot better. And then those final 2 weeks, there was just nobody on the field, and then people started to rip us apart.
Yeah, and people tend to forget we had a lot of our starters go out. You know what I mean? They picked apart this defense when our guys were gone. That cornerback room, we didn't even know who half those guys were.
Probably didn't either.
Another thing that happened last year was also they were in bad down and distance, You know, a lot of times there were a lot of turnovers. There were a lot of, no red zone points. There were a lot of different things on the offensive end of football that affected this defense. The only reason why I don't have the Raiders as a top 15 defense is because what we're doing is we're selling out and hoping that multiple rookies play above their head as rookies. And that's the problem. So I think we'll probably get to about 18, 19, get out of the 20s. But I don't think it's going to happen for us this year because we have a bunch of rookies playing. Now, I think Chris Smith and there's another guy that a lot of people aren't really talking about that I think is going to be vital to this defense, man.
Palomar.
Well, Palomar definitely is going to be vital to this defense. He's actually going to play the role that Jabril Peppers played with the Patrick Graham's best defense. You know, Jabril Peppers was almost like a linebacker. Patrick Graham's defense, he doesn't really use a lot of linebackers. He uses that 3 safety look a lot. So Palomar is pounds. He's going to try to do the same. What they try to do with Abrams, but he didn't have. Who
are you going to say?
Who was I going to say? I think Jacorian Bennett is going to be a guy that is going to come out here, man, and he's going to show a lot of people that he can be a cornerback number 1.
I love it.
Jacorian Bennett got tested a lot in college, and corner is one of those positions that translate well in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shout out to Jose. When are we signing? I think personally in the next 3-4 weeks. Maybe get you know what? Maybe a little more deeper in the training camp. You know what I mean? But you want to get Marcus Peters there soon. I think he's going to sign regardless. And I think I seen Vinny B say something along the lines of 63 to or 65% to or whatever he said. But I'm hearing good things about Marcus Peters to Vegas. I mean, I'm hearing that he was just trying to see if there was anybody out there else out there that had a couple extra dollars for him. But he wants to be in Vegas. He wants to be in Vegas, and I think
Vets report July 25th, rookies the 20th. So
early on,
Peter.
Early on.
There's no reason for him to really try to stick around.
No.
All right, Graphk will throw it back out. Wasted will need oxygen. Got to go with Mitch. Happy 4th for the basketball competition.
Shout out to Rob. We hate you, bro.
I like it. I like it.
I mean, he looks like a chewed up piece of dog meat.
Who?
Robert Cincinnati.
Yeah. He looks like he would put your head in his bicep and it would just
explode. Yeah. Facts.
I mean, honestly, he probably would like it though. Wasted probably is like, all I've ever wanted is to be in the bicep of a jacked man right there.
Mitch, I don't know about that, Mitch, with them sugar slacks you've been wearing. It always
sugar
goes.
Slacks.
Yes, it always goes here every time.
I got nice legs. I'm not afraid to show them off.
Come on, sugar. Relax, man.
I don't make fun of you can admit it. I have nice legs. I don't make fun of something that might be nice on you from the belly button down, but I got nice legs. So guess what?
So I'm gonna be the only one drunk taking care of our guys because Patrick B just said, "Let's go through 100." Come on, what's up,
Patrick B? Bang!
Let's go.
Yeah. Good job.
Y'all heard the nasty work right here with the belly button down situation. It's ridiculous.
Hey, I'll tell you this right now. My old roommate when I lived down here in Dallas used to always say, "Mitch, what do you do for your legs? You got good looking legs. You got good looking calves." And I'd say, honestly, I think it's genetics. He was a black man. I said, it's the exact same me looking at you saying, "What do you do for your dick?" Sometimes you know what, you just got it. It's just, I got good legs, man. I'm a rock.
Where was this? Was this in prison?
Prison. This has never been in prison.
Today, man?
Nah, man. If I know damn well, if I was in prison, I'd be farting like this. No chance. I'm too pretty to be in prison, my guy.
Yo, hey, you want to knock back a beer? Mitch, what you doing?
Let's do it. Shout out to Patrick B.
Let's go. Shout out to our dog, Patrick B, for the 100-piece special. Y'all are crazy in this bitch today. Shout out to John Corrigan, our dog again. But JT, there's half off sliders and lap dances at the local Single Moms Network. I heard they're giving away back from handies for Raider fans. Shout out to our dog, John. Happy 4th, brother. Let me see. We got Wild One again. What is the status of Patrick joining the Mountain?
All right, so essentially, again, Mount Raider More, I got 7 guys right now. I believe it's 7, maybe 8. So who are just the biggest donors to my show. Patrick B continues his climb. He's getting really close. So essentially, once he gets his jersey, then as far as I'm concerned, he's going to be a member. So Patrick, once you get your Raiders Report jersey, you win as far as I'm concerned. JR, Wasted, Mitch's secret to youth is wearing those comfortable stretchy pants. time to buy a few pairs. Happy 4th of July.
Raiders.
I'm lucky. I can wear shorts every day to work. It's great. And right now, bird dog shorts, that's the way to go. That's the way to go.
Shout out to Raider
Happy
Pride.
4th.
That's our guy right here, man. Salute
That's your
to
guy.
you.
You take it then.
Yeah, salute, bro. What it do, Doc's Hammer, Wasted Mitch. 11 months, 26 days sober. Got my daughter back working hard, losing weight, 290 to 227. Shout out to our brother, man. Salute.
That's amazing.
Hey, man, shout out to you, sobriety. And better yet, shout out to you getting your daughter back. I know the whole story, man. Salute to you, Paz. Salute. Keep grinding, my brother. Shout out to Brandon once again. Patrick B. from Mount Raidermore. I love it.
He's getting there. He's getting there. I promise you that.
I believe Palomar is going to show out. Facts. And we're working on getting him on the show here soon, Kenny. Shout out to my USC partner. We're working on a little mix where we can have Palomar on the show here soon. So stay tuned for that, Kenny Mac. Let me see. We got John, your boy in there again. Pat B. Mountain. Let's go. Let's go. I love this shit, man. It's so funny to see all of our people together. I love this.
Hell yeah.
This is how it's
I love
supposed
it.
to be, man. Like, you know what I mean? The nation together, man, on a great 4th of July weekend. Shout out to Ty. Salute Graphk, Wasted and Mitch. I think Jimmy G string shocks everyone and plays 10 plus. I feel the D pause. Steps up and we make a play off run. Faith. Shout out to my dog Ty, man. Appreciate you on that.
Bones Davis. That's my guy right there.
Shout out to LV Maximus in the building too. Big Mike. So you have Mount Raidermore. We have Mount Shieldmore. Mitch is definitely, he's like our Capadonna of the Wu-Tang. He's like the unofficial 5th, 6th member. But we have Big Mike in the building and Hammer's house as well. Those are our brothers, Mount Shieldmore. Shout out to our guys in the chat. Mitch going in on Wasted today. Pause. Shout out to Gio. Yeah.
Wasted loves white guys and paws. White paws. That's what Wasted loves.
No. Listen, Michael, relax here.
Sorry, Wasted. Mitch gets
Hold
the
up
long
your
rim.
sign.
See the brown in the corner of his mouth. Oh my God, y'all are tweaking today. Shout the Rebel is Jimmy G legs made in China. God damn. And shout out to Patrick B real quick. The defense just seems to have that old school Raiders vibe to it. And I can't wait to see it on the field. Also, thank you, Nation. I appreciate you all. We appreciate you as well, Pat, man. Salute to you, man.
I agree with the idea, though. It's like, I'll call it new school, old school Raiders, because like those old school Raiders defense, like they'd kill you, right? Like they knock your head off.
Oh, yeah.
They're the toughest team. Like they're going to beat you up. Where I do think the thing that I like that Patrick Graham's really going to try to implement this season, and I do think that you can see it with a lot of the corners that they're adding, is they're going to try to be physical because they might not be the most talented team. But I do believe when you can be that physical team and then really try to get underneath team's skin, like they're going to run a lot of press man and they're going to just try to beat you up. Like they might not be the most talented, but I do think that they have themselves some really, really good athletes like Duke Shelley, dog. Nate Hobbs, wouldn't want to get into a fight with him. I promise that. Shakorian Bennett, dog. Like Marcus Peters, dog. Like you're going to have some of these dudes that they're just going to go up there and they're going to beat you up a little bit. And I do think, like my dad, I was joking with my dad this weekend. He's like, how would you describe this Raiders team? And I went basketball terms, and it was like the old Piston teams where they could get underneath your skin. They would round. Like they were not nearly as talented as the Jordan Bulls teams. But you know what? Those guys were tough dudes, and teams did not want to go up against those guys. And I do think, and I hope, that's the way that this Raiders defense ends up translating. All right, you got Hug D's.
Hey, real quick, though, Mitch, who's the Bill Laimbeer of this defense then?
Yikes.
And back then they had Rodman. They had all these guys that can get under your skin. But who was the Bill
and all
Laimbeer?
these guys? I don't.
It has to be Max at this point, right? It got to be Max. I mean, like, well,
Max is like
a superstar though, so it's a little different.
That's what I mean. Like Max isn't that dude. Who I want it to be. Like honestly, I want it to be. Who?
Marcus Epps, for some reason, I have a feeling he's going to bring a stinginess to the safety position. I don't know why.
I want it to be Hobbs. Like I think Hobbs can carry a lot more swagger. I also want Diablo. Like, don't get me wrong, Diablo when he talks, he's just like so easy to listen to. You can tell he's very articulate. You can tell he's got a good head on his shoulders. Like he's got all of that. I want some of our guys to just be, like. Let's get in their face a little bit, and that's
bro. I
like it.
Have those kind of guys on this team, to be honest with you. I think we have some talented guys. I think we have a lot of young athletic guys that are going to be healthy, going to be out there. but I don't think we have the kind of guys on this team who are gonna, hit somebody look at what happened last year against Kansas City, the ring around the rosy bullshit.
That's the
Oh,
Chiefs. They can do that.
Now, I'm just saying, an old Raider team, somebody would have came out and T-Bone slammed one of those guys on their face. It have been no way you could have ever done that. Even some of the worst teams we've had, like with the Richard Seymour defense, some of the worst teams we've had, we always had that guy in our locker room who would have probably powerbombed Patrick Mahomes the next time they got their hands on him. So I don't think we have that guy here yet. We don't have that national.
I don't know if we don't have the guy. It's just the league's a lot different. Like
it does not matter.
It does matter. It does matter. You can't tell me it doesn't matter. If some of those guys, what do you mean no?
No, because I'm going to be honest with you. That level of disrespect, no, there are certain teams in this league that they would have a guy to be the hatchet man, where guys would gladly pay.
You know what?
The fine. Gladly.
Let's hope that Palomal pulls that bloodline out this year and becomes that guy. Let's hope that bloodline kicks in and Palomal is the guy, whether he's in the box, is at free, strong, close to the line of scrimmage. I don't care where he is. Let's hope that he translates and he could be that guy.
I hope so. But see, there are certain things that happen in this league where, it's a dumb penalty, right? But it's worth the 15 yards. To be embarrassed like that, it's worth the 15 yards. I don't give a damn what you're talking about.
Let me ask you guys this question. Shout to Hug D's, our brother John. What is your volume hype in your belly at this point by this team? The good thing is mine just came down because last year is through the roof. New coach, new GM, Devontae Adams, Chandler Jones, him connecting with DC. I thought it was, my expectations this season is a lot lower. And I feel good about that because I feel like some good things are going to happen because of it. So I'm going to be honest, my volume is pretty much, you saying 1 through 100, mine's at 50, somewhere in the middle. I hate to kind of sound like I'm cheating a little bit, but 50.
I'm sitting here saying 7, 8 wins. So wherever that is, I guess 60. I don't know.
50, 60. I like that. Yeah, if we get Peters, he's the Lambeer. There we go.
Facts.
I like that, man. Shout out to our dog Intel, man. That shit is crazy. 200-piece special. Shout out to our bro.
Right, hang on a second here, then.
Shout out to our dog.
You gotta give a bang for that, bro.
A little bang. I gotta go get a refill.
Shout out to our bro Intel, man.
I might take my shirt off just for this.
Oh no! Hey, Intel, Intel, call your bank. Take the shit back.
Please, Intel. I need for you guys to stop putting me in these situations with Mitch. You know what I mean? This is ridiculous now. The guy is sex playing me on air. It's disgusting right now.
It really disgusting. Man, bro, Intel, we love you, brother. As always, you already know what time it is, man. Once again, we love the shit out of our brother Intel, man.
Salami nipples, Mitch.
Salami nipples, Mitch. And that bottle is on the way, Intel. Shout out to my brother, man.
See, I don't understand. You're the first person to tell me I got big nipples, I guess. If that's something I actually never thought I'd say live on YouTube. That's a big fact. But
Mitch, I mean, what the hell is going on down there, man? What is going on, man? I mean, are you missing Chugs or something like that? What's going on, man?
I do miss Chugs. He's off today. And in fact, full disclosure, the reason why this live even happened, right? So I told my boss probably 3 months ago, hey, I need to get off for these days. I had some family stuff happen.
Yeah.
Kind of whatever. I had to go funeral, all that kind of stuff this weekend. Yeah, it's,
prayers, my brother, prayers.
It's always one of those things. When you get to see the family, it's always a great time, no matter how the situation is. But I go home, I come back today, and I start heading into work. I get to work, and everyone's like, why the hell are you here? I'm like, it's Tuesday. I always go live on Tuesday. I've gone live on Tuesday for 4 straight years at this point. And they're like, dude, Jugs is off. We don't got a producer for you. So I texted Graphk. I said, yo, get wasted. We're going live. We're going to talk some Raiders content today. But I always miss Jugs, man. Jugs, that's my guy.
Yeah, that's my dog. I can't wait to pull up on you guys and rock with my guy. This is for our brother Intel real quick, man. Shot.
Intel.
I'm gonna have some water for you.
JT says Mitch wasted Graphk.
You might as well change your name to Water Talent.
I know, right?
Why even use wasted if?
Hey, man, because it's not about getting actually wasted like you. You know what I mean? It's about being a waste.
It's just having the talent that you have and just wasting it. No, I got it. Believe me. I got it.
I mean, but it's like a double entendre because I'm definitely not a wasted talent.
Hey JT, bro, we need a stud linebacker, period. But let's just be honest. There's one name out there that I love, and it's Fred Warner. It's never going to happen. But if we can get him at the second level of our defense, this defense would be totally different. It's Fred Warner for me.
Fred Warner?
Stud linebacker that takes this defense to the next level.
I mean, I would say linebacker that I like, bang for the buck, good fit, Rashaan Evans is probably him for me. Like, if I could sign 3 free agents right now, like if you told me, which this is kind of an interesting conversation.
Stud, bro. Stud. Like Rashaan Evans is nice. Don't get me wrong, but
is Fred Warner going to be healthy? I mean, Fred Warner is also like,
it's never going to happen.
Yeah, right. So I'm saying, like, right now, would you rather have Josh Jacobs or use the money that you would have paid Josh Jacobs to go out and get a Marcus Peters, Kyle Van Noy, Rashaan Evans? Like, what would you do?
I pay Josh Jacobs. These are 3 players that aren't going to move the needle. You don't even know if Marcus Peters is even going to play well. He's played like shit for the last 2 years. He's injury prone.
Last year
he's played well in man. So last season in man coverage, he was targeted 28 times, gave up 12 catches, QBR against him at 81, 3 PBUs. Like,
yeah,
I think in zone last year, he was targeted 32 times, gave up 28 catches, right? Like, that's the perfect example of depending on how you use your players. Peters is always, I shouldn't say always, now at this point of his career is much worse in zone. But in man, when you let him get physical and you let him get up there right next to you and hit you in the chest a little bit before you're getting off the line of scrimmage, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a different player.
And it all depends on who he's if he's against the X, it might not be well in man because he might get smoked.
Hey, real quick though, man. Shout out to Rube. Love you, bro. You already know it might be Spillane. I like that. He is a thumper. I want to say this real quick. Shout out to Intel. He said, "Yo, that 2 bills was to keep the shirt on, Mitch." All right, so,
please. Thank you, Intel, for saving me. But I'm going to be honest.
Al Davis. You got the Al Davis shirt on today. Keep that on.
I'm a send Wasted a special picture as soon as this live gets done. So I'm gonna send it to
do that, I'm going to block you.
Oh, I can't wait. I'll put that.
Mitch, I'm going to block you, and I'm telling you, Mitch, when I'm not, I'll save this for off the air, Mitch. But I'm telling you right now, if you send me a picture of your nipples, I'm gonna give you a wedgie when I see you.
Yo, shout out to Protect the Field. This is terrible, right? We haven't had an enforcer since Mike Mitchell. Now, Mike Mitchell is not a star. He's a guy. Oh, here goes. Yeah, he's a guy that went to Pittsburgh, and he's a thumper, right?
Get it loaded.
That lets you know how bad our defense has been for years. If you say we haven't had an enforcer since Mike Mitchell.
And I don't agree with that. I would venture to say that Jonathan Abram was a bit of an enforcer. A bit.
Terrible take, Wasted. Terrible take,
man.
I mean, the enforcer on our team last season was being.
Let me get my one terrible take for the show to go with your 30.
Well, I mean, I had
Denzel Perriman. I mean, Denzel Perriman was the enforcer.
Yeah, man. Another guy we just let go, and I kicked it with him the other day. Shout out to Denzel Perriman. Such a good dude, bro. He's fire. And he wanted to stay a Raider, too, and I hate that shit.
You know what's crazy? You guys asked about the linebacker, and I forgot to give mine. Roquan Smith would totally transform this defense.
Yeah.
Roquan Smith would have been excellent. He gets paid so much, but the style of linebacker he plays, how versatile he is, and the way Patrick Graham runs his defense, he is the perfect linebacker for this scheme.
See, I'll say if you want to go versatile, because like that's always the key word for me, and a player that you do not have to pay a lot right now on a team that they're going to try to tank. I know he hasn't had the best career in the NFL, but I will always go to bat for Isaiah Simmons. When he was coming out of college at Clemson, he was one of the most unbelievable athletes. And I get like the fact that you don't always just want to bet on athletes. I get that. But that dude has played box safety. He has played corner. He has played linebacker. And when you see the way that the Cardinals have run their defense, like Cliff Kingsbury was a guy who, I think he was an offensive-minded coach. We can all say that, right? But they really ignored the defense. And when you use a player of his talent in all these different areas and you don't really let him get good, plus I'll always say one of the things I always say for the Raiders defense is when you have all these young players and you put them through COVID, right? Like, I think that is a lot more difficult of a situation talking to some of the younger players that I have that people just don't simply talk about, right? Like, and that's what happened to Isaiah. If you told me right now we could go out and get Isaiah Simmons, I would take Isaiah Simmons over a Marcus Peters, over a Kyle Van Noy, over a Sean Evans. If we could make a trade for him right now, give him a day 3 pick, a 5th-round pick, let's do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would too for the upside. But if you talk about a guy that you know is going to transform the defense, you don't know that Isaiah Simmons will do that. You know, like he's played all over. He's been very versatile.
He's better than Diablo. He's better than Robert Spillane. He'd be the best linebacker on our team right now.
You say that, right? But the thing is that the one thing Isaiah Simmons hasn't done in the National Football League is play well. He hasn't played well since he was at Clemson, man. So
has Robert Spillane? Has Divine Diablo?
I mean, Robert Spillane at this point in his career, right? For what we're asking him to do, I don't know if Isaiah Simmons is going to be able to do the same thing.
But not even that though. Hey, Wasted. How many times have we seen those linebackers leave Arizona and go somewhere else and ball out?
Yeah, listen, I'm operating on
high stakes Reddick, guy that they kept playing out of position. He ended up leaving, and this dude is a force to be reckoned with. He was Carolina, Phil, everywhere he went, phenomenal.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I'm operating off of what I know. Do I think it's likely? Yeah, I love Isaiah Simmons. I don't know if Isaiah Simmons is going to be the thumper in the middle of our defense that we need, though. Because I don't know how physical he is. What I'm saying is that
he's the guy you can drop in the coverage. You know what I'm saying?
You don't need a thumper in today's NFL. You don't need a thumper, and that might be a very unpopular opinion.
That's nonsense. Football is always about big, strong guys winning at the line of scrimmage, controlling the line of scrimmage in the middle of the field.
At the line of scrimmage, I agree with that. But in today's NFL, I will take more versatile linebackers that you can do a lot more different things with them because I'm sorry, you don't really have the. There's Derrick Henry, okay? There's Derrick Henry, and then there's all these other, don't get me wrong, Josh Jacobs, incredible running back, different forms of backs here and there. But I do think linebacker is the running back of the defense, where I do think it's a very interchangeable position. And if all you can do is stop the run, if I'm a defensive coordinator, why am I going to spend a lot of money on something with that all you can do is stop the run, where the other side of the offense is built on? And I do think it's about to go to that running back by committee, where it's like, if they don't have a star running back, why am I going to pay a thumper middle linebacker that can only stop the run? I want guys that can cut.
See, that's not true and
that's okay.
You have to have that guy in the locker room somewhere. You have to be able to play every style of football.
The mentality's there.
As you get closer and closer to the playoffs, right? Teams run the football more. As it gets colder outside, teams run the football more. And just because you don't have a star running back doesn't mean you don't have 3 that can gas you. See, that's the thing about having running back by committee. You always have a fresh running back that's coming in. So you always have to stop the run. And also, when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, who's damn near 250 pounds, that's running guys over in the secondary, you need to have that guy in the locker room. I'm not saying that guy has to fill that role every time, but you got to have that guy somewhere in the linebacker.
All I'm going to say is this. If that defensive line is better, this defense is better. Period, point blank, the end. If that defensive line cooks this year, this defense is going to be way, way better. It takes the pressure. If you look at Patrick Graham in the past, I think one of the best linebackers they ever had was Blake Martinez. This guy's never been known to load up the linebacker position. He's always been known to have a stout defensive line that can play the run, and some defensive tackles here and there can get to the quarterback, the Leonard Williams of the world, and so on and so forth. But he's a guy that depends a lot on that defensive line. If that defensive line can get better this year, I'm telling you now, and I think they got a lot better. Drafting Tyree Wilson, going and getting Byron Young in the third, this team is going to be totally different because of the defensive line. They have to set the tone this year.
They definitely do, but you have to have the guys on the roster that see. This is the thing about people what they don't realize about football. The more things change, the more they stay the same. The basic principles of football are always what normally wins you championships. And that's the thing nobody looks at. Throughout the regular season, you could throw the ball all around the place, but when you have to have it, when you need to have that first down or when you need to control that football, you have to have guys like that on your roster. And teams that are not physical at the line of scrimmage are teams who don't win championships.
Facts. I could not agree with you more on that. I think from a defensive standpoint, this season, this is why I'm really excited to see what Patrick Graham can do this year, right? Because this is the first year where everyone's got that extra year, and all the players that I have talked to is like, it's like learning a new language, and that's a stupid thing that we always say, but it's the truth, right? Where I've talked to Crosby, I've talked to even guys on the offensive line, Colton, Jermaine, like all these dudes, and they're like, it's so much easier walking into this season because you know what you're getting into, right? And I mean, it's just like starting a new job. That first few months, you don't really know exactly how that new job works. And I get we look at the NFL as a year, but realistically, I mean, think about how many days is minicamp, how many days is training camp, how many days is OTAs. It's altogether, you add it's like 2-3 weeks. Think about your first 2 to 3 weeks at your new job. You're walking around like, I hope I'm doing everything right. And then when you go into it and you keep it going, I do think that kind of stuff can go a long way.
Shout out to Alan Radio, Classic Man Q, real quick, and Patrick B, all the guys on the donations. My apologies, Mitch. I wasn't trying to cut you off, brother. But salute to everybody that's been throwing out them supers, and shout out to everybody in the chat as well. You know what I mean? Salute to you guys. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question real quick? All right. So one thing that I like to do is I always like to push the narrative, right? I like to, if I think of something, I like to make a deal and let's go with it. So my question to everyone out there is this. Why for yes and for no? Who wants to see a wasted nipple?
It doesn't matter. You're not seeing it.
Why for yes and for no? Here's my thing, Wasted. There's always a way. So my question here is this.
Mitch, it's not a way. Mitch, I'm going to be honest with you. Mitch, I'm telling you.
What needs to happen?
I'm going to pick you up by your underwear and hang you off a fence.
Yo, and
I'll show you my nipple while you do it.
Ryan, yes.
Why for yes and for no? What's the number, Wasted? Wasted. What's the biggest super chat you've ever gotten on your channel?
Real $99.
$99. $100 super chat on Wasted right now.
Doesn't matter. $500. I'm not doing it. My integrity, my integrity as a man means more to me than money.
When you go to the pool, do you wear a t-shirt?
No, I don't. But I'm not gonna.
But your integrity as a man.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm going to the pool, bro. I'm not gonna have somebody throw money at me.
Do you want me to? I'll take my laptop right now and I'll walk out to the pool in my backyard.
No, man, I'm a boy, Damon.
Yeah, Mitch. What is going on right here, man? Mitch, what is going on right here, man?
This is me I'm trying to get to know you better, Wasted. That's all this is.
You know what? I can't wait until we do an event because you're going to get to know your underwear.
Wasted.
I'm going to pick you up by your underwear and I'm going to hang you on a fence.
I hope you do.
I hope you do.
I'll tell you what. I'll say this, man. I'm a lot heavier than probably what you think some 5'10" guy weighs, but. How about this? Graphk,
Dr. Martin, he said Mitch is all hormoned up.
You guys got to come to my bachelor party.
Oh yeah, come on, I'm there.
It'll be in Dallas. You're not gonna go?
I'm there, bro. I'll be there.
All right. Yeah. All right. Graphk, you got the invite. Wasted. I need a nipple to get the invite.
Shout out to Pace. Why is Bars the worst Notre Dame O lineman I've ever seen? And how much do you guys think he'll improve this season, if at all? He's my biggest. I don't even think he makes the team, Pace. He might even make the team.
Yeah. I think he makes the team. I've talked to Jermaine a bunch about Alex Bars, and Champ Kelly loves him. They have the ties with him before.
Yeah.
I just think they look at him as a versatile offensive lineman that can play center, that can play offensive guard, and that he might be the ninth guy. However, I think it's funny because you look at what Vic Tafer, Tashawn Reed, some of these guys who are insiders, and they're like, he's the starting right guard. I'm like, he's not. He's not. He's not.
Yeah, at all. I don't. Bro, I would have McClendon Curtis over him. I would have Moody over him. There's no way in hell Alex Barr starts this year. There's no way in hell.
Bro, I see. I don't know, right? I would.
You had him initially starting, Wasted.
Well, look, the thing about it is that I have to see these guys look, Graphk, I'm not the guy that's going to jump out here and say McClendon Curtis, right? A guy that comes from a small school is going to be a starter. I don't even know if he's going to make the roster. I haven't even seen this guy play at the National Football League level.
Watch the tape.
Yo,
Yep.
listen. I've watched the tape. I've watched the tape.
Phenomenal.
We don't know if that tape is going to translate. You guys act like he played at a Power 5 school. If McClendon Curtis did that at Ohio State, if he did it at LSU, yeah, I could say that. He didn't. You know what I mean? So we have to watch the kid play first. The only guy that I know that's taken live bullets in the National Football League is Alex Bars. That's the only guy. I don't like to pontificate on some bullshit.
Moody.
Yeah, Moody, he didn't really. How many snaps did Moody play in Denver last year?
No, he was on a practice squad.
All right. So what are we talking about here?
But
You got a
Moody-
practice
I think
squad
it's- I
guy.
think
You got a
it's
guy
fit,
from a
though.
small school.
Yeah,
Huh?
It's fit.
It's fit.
It's fit.
Yeah.
Where if you're not playing guys in the right area, like I'll tell you this, Insane Moody, he's a mean dude, right? He's a run blocker. He might not be the best in the pass blocking situation where if the Raiders were to franchise tag Jacobs and he ends up signing it, they give him an extension, I could see Insane Moody out there starting at right guard because he's a better run blocker. And you know what? If I'm going to invest my money in Jacobs, let's put him out there. If it's not that route, if they want to go with a different route, running back by committee here and there, to be honest, I'll go with Van Roten, where Van Roten to me is the better pass blocker than Moody and that whole situation. But I also want to look at McKendon Curtis was a player that I had a 4th-round grade on. We had a 5th-round grade on, and he's a good offensive lineman. I will take him and put it with Carmen Brasillo. If Alex Bars played at an average level, I'll go with that.
Look,
But
I'm gonna be
Alex
honest.
Bars was one of the worst offensive linemen in the National Football League last
Yes, he
season.
was. Yes, he was. And
Why roll with that again? Why?
So my thing is this: if he's that bad, right? You have a guy in Thayer Mumford on your roster who played a lot of right tackle in college. I would go
love
Thayer
that.
Mumford before some of these other guys.
Weird.
But the thing about McClendon Curtis and all these guys you guys are bringing up, yeah, it sounds good, but we don't know. Like, you know, McClendon Curtis is a rookie.
I don't want him to start.
So all right, this is what we're talking about here. We have a guy who has started in the National Football League before. I hope he
Insane
does.
Moody.
Listen, I hope
But he
that
started.
you're right.
He did.
I hope that you're right, but Alex Bars is taking a considerable amount more snaps in this scheme than those guys did, right?
But let me ask you this right now. Are you hungry? Because I had a few beers, so I'm pretty hungry right now. Would you order food knowing that it's not going to be good? Would you waste your time, money on – because that's what Alex Bars is.
The
Alex
problem
Bars is
is, if
somebody
he's that bad, why is he still on a roster then?
Because he's
apparently on
versatile.
some level they believe in him. So on some level,
Do you
they
think
believe in
Brandon
him.
Bolden's good?
No, I don't.
You know why he's on the team? Because he's a McDaniels guy. And I think at the end of the day, they will bet on certain players that are a part of their scheme.
So you just made my point for me.
I don't think I did.
If he's still on this roster, they must believe in him on some level. And he's a guy that they paraded out there and started before. So, you know, they say future outcomes are kind of predicted by what's happened in the past. They've played him. So that means they believe in him. Brandon Bolden is still on his roster right now to this day because somehow, some way, I don't know why, but he's a guy of theirs. So let's see how it all works out. Now, do I think
Just because you play a guy doesn't mean you believe in him. It just means that you have to roll with that situation. Do you think that they believed in Derek Carr the entire way?
Bars is terrible. But what I'm saying to you is that I don't know that these other two guys aren't going to be equally as terrible. I have to see it first. To me, I'm just being optimistic by saying that they're going to start. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'd rather go with the other situation than just going into something you know is just terrible. Moody or McClendon, you have to go that route, bro.
But you don't know. Like, to me, like I would rather go with the anything's possible, and then the worst case scenario, we go back to Bars. I know, like,
bro, and that's my point. My point is that we haven't even seen these guys take a snap. I think it's almost malpractice to get on the air and say that we know that Latane Moody is going to be better than Bars. We know.
It's not malpractice. I know Alex Bars is bad. Why go with it?
It is because if you haven't seen any of these guys play, how the fuck can you make that assessment? You haven't even seen them play in this scheme yet.
But I've seen Alex Bars play, and he's bad.
And I know he's bad. And I know
that's
he's
my
bad.
point.
And I know he's bad. Thayer Mumford is the guy that I would hang my hat on. I wouldn't hang my hat on these other two.
I agree. Shout out to John real quick. I love this shit. Well, I don't agree with. I love Mumford, but this guy drinks mayo in his coffee for $50 from Roe, but no nipple for $500. Wasted. I thought you were trying to keep the lights on. $20 is 20.
That's why I went to work today. I'm cool, man.
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you this right now. I would get my nipple pierced on this show for the biggest super chat I've ever gotten.
Mitch, that's where you and I differ. That's where you and I differ, man. Because they're you know, I've been out here a long time making money, brother. Money is not everything to me. My integrity is everything.
Chuck,
Go ahead, Mitch. We got it.
No, you're good. I got my friends here. You guys want to meet some other chat sports OGs?
No,
What's up, buddy?
not even a little bit.
Hold on, I'm gonna bring on one of our guys as well, real fast.
I'm live on YouTube. What's up?
Raider Nation.
Salute.
All right, y'all. If you guys want to keep the party going, you're more than welcome. But I'll be live here for a little bit longer, and then I got to bounce.
Nah, it's all good, bro. It's all good. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Hammer, I think it's gonna be backstage here shortly. You haven't popped in for a couple minutes. Salute to the chat, man. Hey, shout out to your guys too, man. They pulled up. Happy 4th of July to everybody in the background. Salute.
You guys want to see 3 grown men knock back some beers? I'm down.
Come on.
Hey, man, I'm always with it, man.
Come on.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I've seen you take a single drink, and I have yet to see a nipple, so I'm a little bit disappointed in this.
Hey, yo, Mitch.
Mitch, I'm feeling uncomfortable, right? Oh my God, yo. Look, man, you fucking white dudes, man. It's unbelievable.
Hey, we are whores, bro. We're whores, bro.
It's unbelievable, man.
It's not a white thing. I will say this though, it's kind of like white mixed and then just black. I mean, I like the dynamic here. I tell you guys all the time, I do these lives to up my game. You know, like to up my street cred. I roll around with a guy like Graphk. People are like, all right, this guy gets down in Oakland. I hang out with a guy like Wasted, and they're like, all right, this guy's all about 2023. So that's all this is. This is a business move.
Hey, shout out to Mitch with the street moves, man. We fuck with you, bro. And he said, look, I'm in the NBA, but sometimes you got to get that and one look. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Yeah.
You got to hit Rucker Park. You know what I'm saying? You got to come rock.
I'm beating both of y'all in some street ball. I have better handles. I know I can shoot, and I know my longevity for a game is there.
That's hilarious that you just assume that you got better handles than me.
I know I do.
That's
I definitely do too. This is facts.
That's the
hilarious. Fact that you won't show your nipples on screen shows insecurity, and I'm gonna beat that in the game. Like I'm just gonna be in your head the entire time.
No. What it shows is that I don't move unless I want to move.
I also know this: shirts and skins. If I'm skin, you're in trouble because I'm gonna be all up on it, and you're not gonna be able to handle it.
Hey, what's the thug shaker? Hawk, what is the thug shaker?
There he is.
John, definitely, man. Come on, man. I'm a Sacramento King, brother. You already know.
All right. Well, I will say this. I got some friends that just pulled up, so I got to head on out of here. Appreciate everyone that tuned in today on the Raiders Report. I don't know how this whole thing works, Graphk, so.
Once you leave.
I don't know. All I ask is this. If you guys stay live on my channel, no F-bombs. We already had 2 drop today from one person in particular. So let's keep the F-bombs to a limited.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I thought it was me.
No, I didn't say F-bomb today.
I got them. I already know the timestamps because I got to report it. So it's all good. Watch the F-bombs.
Hey, we're going to do this. We'll do this. We're not, because we probably will still be on your channel. We're not going to do that. Hammer, let's all take a shot. Let's take a shot before we get out of here.
Give me 1 sec. I might be able to stick around because they gotta set some shit up. So give me a sec.
Look at that.
There you go. It's just lit, man. The chat having fun. Ain't no reason to cut it off that quick, man. Shout out to our little bro, Hammer in the building. What's good, bro?
Hey, shit. What's going on, bro? Nothing going on today. This weather out here is miserable.
Yo, hey, real quick. Let everybody know where to follow you at, bro.
Holy Moly's Donut Shop.
Nope. No time for the goofy shit.
Raider Nation news today, y'all.
Raider Nation news today, man. Shout out to our little bro, Hammer, man. Happy 4th, my brother.
You too, bro.
Let me see. Bold predictions. Raider run quarterback by committee. God damn. Let me see. No F-bombs wasted.
How y'all feel about that graphic that was put up without Jacobs?
It was right. He's not under contract. Like, bro, are we supposed to put him on there? And mind you, if you go read the article, it says Josh Jacobs literally killed last year. Like the offense wasn't the offense without Josh.
Right.
That's the thing, man. Like these social medias that work for these teams, they know what they be doing.
Of course they do.
If you click the link, it says Josh Jacobs was the guy that ran the offense. You know what I mean?
That ain't me.
That's Mitch.
You might have heard me. Sorry.
No, you good. You good. Let me see. What are you guys taking shots of? YouTube. Hey, I'm taking shots of tequila. Cornitos. My brother got the Woodson whiskey. I just sent off my last bottle of Woodson whiskey to our brother Intel, man. So, yeah, I don't have a bottle anymore. I got to get some more. Let me see. This sucks like Mitch's sideboard. Better this way. Salute to everybody in the building. Let me see.
Hi, Mitch.
Hello. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Honestly, you look great. Can I get a nipple?
Oh my God! Oh! Hammer's a whore.
No. You missed it the other night. We had full frontal nudity during the live last week.
Oh my God, bro! The Hammer Slammer.
All right. Well, I just got word from the boss that I got to go. So
no, we good, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. You guys have a wonderful 4th of July. Once again, happy birthday to the GOAT, Al Davis. Rest in peace. Everybody be safe out there today, man. Salute to everybody in the building. Hey, Alex, what's up? Hey, tell her I said congratulations as well.
they say congratulations.
Yeah. So
Just tell Alex I feel sorry that she had to class your life up. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'll tell you this right now. You throw in a $500 super chat, she'd show a nipple.
Oh my God, bro! Damn, we whoring out fiancés, man.
What is going on with you, man? You actually in love
kidding.
right now.
It's tough in these streets. It's July. You guys know you're content creators.
Oh yeah, it's a thing. In these streets, bro.
I've been eating ice cubes for dinner.
Go spend some time with the family, bro. Do your thing, man.
All right, I gotta head out. Like I said, if you guys are still live on the channel, please just keep it PG.
Yeah. Salute to my dog. All right, man.
All right, y'all. I'm heading out. Peace.
My brother, man. Love you, bro.
See ya. Love you guys.
Fiddlesticks, everybody.
You can just click on his channel on StreamYard and click remove, and that'll be it. Like, his will be out. So we don't have to worry about anything. It's your call.
Fiddlesticks. Golly gee willikers.
Real quick, for everybody that's still on the Raiders Report, if you guys want to pull up Oak Las Vegas Raiders Network, Wasted Talent, Raider Nation Unlimited, we're still live on both of our channels. Pull up over there. I'm going to go out real quick. You guys hold this down. I'm going to go over there and turn it and disconnect it.
Hold this down. Pause. So, Hammer, what is the deal?
Granddad. Pause.
We are in the place to be, man. It was a wonderful, splendiferous occasion that we had here. We had the great Mitchell Renz, salami nipple extraordinaire. We had Graphk Raider in here, and you had myself. Now, Hammer came in here to bring some more madcap on the 4th of July.
Yo, we out of here. We out of here. I can't disconnect it without deleting the live from.
All right, so it's time to go.
Yeah, it's time to go. We've been on for 2 hours, but Hammer, hey, let's do something. I'm gonna hit you in a second. Salute to everybody in the building. We love y'all. We appreciate you guys. We out.